Good morning and happy Friday. Today we're going to talk about step 3 for building success into your day. Now, this one's going to be really challenging. Have you been making your bed every day? If you have, or if you've made it most of the days of the last 3 weeks, you probably feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. Hopefully you're not asking yourself, why hasn't my life changed? Because this is just a building block. Right? Now, step 2 is looking at things to remind you how to start your day positively with an attitude of gratitude so that you go into your day ready to project and receive positive energy, positive interactions. And we had 2B, where if, quick little signs on your wall aren't enough, you could actually read some scripture testimonials. I do that because it calms my mind. That's why I have a 2B. Then you can do that as well. And if you've been doing all 2 or 3 of those things for the last couple of weeks, you may notice a slight change in how you begin your day. Again, these are just building blocks, so you're not going to miraculously get a job as a CEO tomorrow now because you're making your bed and you're starting your day with a positive attitude. Now we're going to talk about a habit. There are many habits that we do, typically because it becomes habitual, right? We repeat it a few times, becomes routine. Well, we want to get rid of the bad routines and we want to put in good routines. A really bad routine that millions of people have is the snooze button. Everyone knows what that is. I'm going to tell you a story, my story about the snooze button. Every time I had an alarm clock with a snooze button, I couldn't figure out what it did. God forbid I read instructions, but if I recall, none of my little alarm clocks ever came with instructions. They were usually secondhand, passed me down, garage sale products. And so I couldn't figure it out. Sometimes when I hit it, music came off, but then it would come back on later. I couldn't figure it out. All I knew was it didn't really turn the alarm off. I didn't understand the purpose behind it. And then one day I left home and I went off to college. My freshman year was a drama unto itself. And my sophomore year, or rather my second year away from home, because, that's a different story. I moved into a house that I was renting with the person I fondly referred to as my college roommate. Interestingly enough, we were only roommates for 2 of our 5 years there, but we refer to each other as the college roommate. She'll remain nameless, but one day we're sitting on our front porch, and I asked her, why in the world, every morning, when your alarm goes off, do you reset it over and over and over again? What a pain. And she said to me, what are you talking about? And I said, I hear it go off, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before you finally get up. And, it seems like a lot of effort to push the button, set it for 5 minutes later, and then lay down. Do you really fall back asleep? And she almost fell off the porch laughing at me because she said, Cassandra, I don't reset it every time. I hit the snooze button. And I said, the snooze button? That's what that's for? And she said, yeah, so you can snooze a little more before you actually get up. So most snooze buttons are set for 5 minutes, and they were back then. And so when you hit snooze, it gives you 5 more minutes. And I said, that sounds ridiculous. Why don't you just get up when it goes off? Because that's what I had done all my life, right? Because I didn't know what the snooze button was, so I stayed away from it. Well, that was the beginning of the end for me in the snooze world, because I decided to test it out, and the first couple times I still thought it was ridiculous, but I was determined to figure out why so many people used the snooze button. So you know what I did? I kept doing it over and over and over again until I couldn't stop. Before you know it, I also was hitting the snooze button 7 to 8 times to get up. In fact, my roommate and I would set our alarm clock early just so we could hit snooze. If we had to be up by 8, we set our alarm for 7:30 so that we could hit snooze until 8. What sense does that make? You're not getting any good sleep in that last half hour. But that's what we did, and a lot of people do that. Fast forward a couple years, I was out of college somehow, and in an apartment where my bed was up against the wall, and then the bathroom was about 5 feet away. I put my alarm clock in the bathroom to force myself out of bed so that I could try to stop using the snooze button. I had a real job then and couldn't be late or anything like that. I mastered the art of rolling out of bed, taking 2 giant leaping steps, like Mother May I or Simon Says, slamming the snooze button, turning around, 2 more leaping steps, I'd fly into bed and stick my head in the pillow for 6 more minutes. And I would do that anywhere from 3 to 6 times every morning. I had to set my alarm about 45 minutes early so I could hit snooze over and over again. Excuse me. So the snooze button, it's a huge habit for a lot of people, and it's conditioned into us because we force ourselves to keep using it. We keep telling ourselves it's doing us good to get a couple more minutes of sleep, but really it's not, because you're not falling back asleep into the restful sleep, right? And if you do fall into the restful sleep, then you're even groggier when you get up the next time to hit your snooze button. So what I want to teach you guys is how to conquer the snooze button. It takes discipline, and you have to want to conquer it. You have to be fed up with the wasted time and the wasted crappy sleep to get over your snooze button. So I use what I call 3 strikes you're out. So when I've decided to kill the snooze button, and by the way, I'm human too, so I go through cycles. I'll have a year of no snooze button, and I'll have a year of hitting it twice. I'll have a year of no snooze button with occasional spurts of hitting it 5 or 6 times. Since I know that those are anomalies and not my normal pattern, I forgive myself, I let it go, and I tell myself I'm not falling off the wagon the next day. But what that lets me know is I'm not doing what I should do in terms of going to sleep when I should, getting the rest I should, and being disciplined like I should. But if you want to get over your snooze button, here's how I do it. When I say I've had enough, I go to bed, and the first thing I think when I'm going to bed is I'm not hitting snooze tomorrow, and I will deliberately make sure my alarm clock is set for exactly when I need to get up. I'll go to bed, and when I wake up, if I'm tempted to hit the snooze button, I may hit it 1 time, and I'll tell myself, that's it. Now, if I'm feeling weak, I may hit it a 2nd time. Each time is a strike. But by the 2nd time, I'm already feeling guilty. I know I'm not meeting my goal, and I know I'm not being disciplined. I'm awake enough to recognize those facts. And so usually after the 2nd time, I lay in bed fidgeting, thinking, that's it. I have 2 strikes, 1 more strike, and I'm out. And I have trained myself to feel like that 3rd strike is monumental. I'm not going to be disappointed in myself until the 3rd strike, because until the 3rd strike, I still have 1 more chance to make it right and focus on what I said I'm going to do. So usually after the 2nd one, I can't even pretend to sleep because I'm fidgety thinking about the 3rd strike, and I'll get up, turn off the alarm, and go about my day and say, all right, that was stupid. Tomorrow I'm not doing that again. If I wait for the 3rd strike and it goes off, I get up, I hit it, and I say, well, there's the 3rd strike. I'm done. Time to get up and start my day. And I do. So for those of you who want to quit the snooze button, the good thing about the 3 strikes you're out method is that it doesn't make you try to quit cold turkey. It gives you a reduced limitation. 3 strikes you're out. If you're not up by the 3rd time, shame on you. Think of a punishment for yourself. Maybe it's you have to take a cold shower instead of a hot one. Maybe it's that you have to do 20 lunges for each leg before you get in the shower. Maybe 20 squats. Maybe 20 push-ups, which would kill me. But whatever the punishment, give yourself a punishment and make yourself administer it to yourself. And I guarantee you, after a couple of situations where you've had to go through your own punishment, it gets easier and easier to do the 3 strikes you're out. Once you're to the 3 strikes you're out, then make it your goal to just hit it once. And you can do it. You'll see it's an evolution. You can get there. Progress, not perfection. Once you get down to just hitting it once, which isn't bad at all, go for no snooze, right? Go for no snooze. And let me tell you, once you've done no snooze a couple of times, you feel so good and accomplished. Yeah, accomplished from one little thing like that. You start your day feeling positive, accomplished. You make that bed. You look at your positive affirmations. You read your, godly scriptures to just relax, let it all go, and start your day with a peaceful mind and the right attitude, the right positive energy, and you go forth and conquer. And to be honest, waking up in the morning, never hitting snooze, making your bed, reading, and glancing at some positive affirmations, and maybe even starting your day with a positive prayer, you already feel so good by the time you've made it into the shower that you're going to just feel so much better. And when you feel good and you go out into the world and you put out that positive energy, that's what comes back to you. So again, this is step 3 for building success into your day. Get rid of the snooze button. This one's pretty daunting. It takes time. So I'm probably going to wait a couple weeks before I do one more addition to how to build success into your day. But trust me, if you conquer this, you're going to feel like king or queen of the mountain. You guys have a wonderfully happy Friday. I hope you're all blessed. I hope your workday passes by quickly and you knock it out of the park. And I hope you have a leisurely, enjoyable weekend. Take care.